Hey everyone, it's Sarah and welcome to my morning routine. When I start my mornings, I usually begin by giving the horses that eat grain their breakfast. I soak my horses' grain overnight, so all I have to do in the mornings is mix it up and take it out to them. These two buckets are for Rowdy and Genesis. Rowdy is my senior horse and I give him soaked alfalfa, and for Genesis, since she's in medium work, I give her Nutrina Triumph Professional. Our horses' field is separated into two sections, an upper paddock where the Mustangs and the training corral is, and a lower field where the rest of the horses stay. So after I hang up Rowdy and Genesis' grain buckets on the training corral, I let them up into the upper field so that they can eat in peace without having the other horses bombarding them. We have a total of 12 horses. I have 5 and Emily has 7. Aunt Emily's Mustang, Rafiki, wanted to say hello. After I have given Rowdy and Genesis their grain, I then move on to taking care of my new Mustangs, Braveheart and Gandalf. Now because these two Mustangs are wild, they have to be kept in separate pens so that it's easier to work with them and gentle them. Gandalf is the messier of my two Mustangs as he poops all over his pen and there are several piles to clean up. Once I have finished cleaning Gandalf's pen, I then begin to work with him, and the reason why I don't give him his morning hay before I work with him is because I want his attention on me instead of his food. Also, I was super disappointed because the camera cut off halfway through my session and missed how good Gandalf was and all the improvements he made, such as letting me touch him on his face and rub him. But even still, it was a good session, and after I was finished, I then proceeded to get him his hay and dump out the wheelbarrow. Now, for anyone who is wondering, these are DIY hay feeders that we made that really keeps the horses from soiling and wasting their hay. We do have a video on how to make them that you will be able to watch. Also, something I find very funny is that the horse next to Gandalf, Emily's Mustang Rohan, will stick his head over the pen wall to see what I am doing. Once I am finished with Gandalf, I then move on to taking care of Braveheart, and one thing I did before I went into his pen was picked up this pesky hose that I forgot to move the other day, so I just quickly moved that and then proceeded to take care of the big boy. As you can see, Braveheart keeps his pen neater than Gandalf because he only poops in one poop pile. That is because Braveheart was a herd stallion, and he makes stud piles where he poops in one spot like marking his territory. It is very easy to clean up. Now, one thing I noticed as I was cleaning Braveheart's pen was that he repeatedly kept swinging his rear towards me and backing up, and this was behavior that I was none too pleased about. The first time I ignored it, but the second time I decided to nip this in the bud and I smacked my shovel on the ground. Not to be mean, but just to let him know that this was rude behavior and I was not going to accept this. Braveheart is a quick learner, so he learned his lesson and did not continue on with any more shenanigans for the rest of the day. After I finished cleaning his pen, I then went and dumped out the wheelbarrow and got to work on doing some more gentling with him. Now for this session, the thing I focused on was just getting him more comfortable with me touching him and getting him to let me stand closer. Although it doesn't seem like much, Braveheart has come a long way in trusting me enough to allow me to touch him. He was a really good boy and I was super pleased with him. And I finished our session by giving him his morning hay. It is amazing to see how quickly horses learn a routine, because every morning I come out, he is at the side of his pen waiting for me to come and work with him and give him his good boy treats and breakfast. Once I have finished taking care of the Mustangs, I then prepare for my ride on Genesis. Now one thing I do is I put together my tack so that when I'm done grooming Genesis, all I have to do is put the saddle on and go. So after I did that, I grabbed Genesis' halter and I went out to catch the extremely dirty girl. Genesis loves attention and likes to be pampered, so she was sitting there ready and waiting for me to come and catch her. Once I brought Genesis into the barn, I clipped her to the cross ties and then grabbed my grooming kit and everything I would need to get her as clean as possible without giving her a full-blown bath. After giving her a quick brushing to remove the caked on and loose dirt, I then sprayed some green spot remover on all her stains and mixed it in with a sponge. Then, taking my hose, I rinsed out the shampoo. Once Genesis was clean, I then proceeded to tack her up. You can see Emily in the background taking care of her horses. Now, one thing that I do that is just a little bit of a habit is I always put on Genesis' saddle first before I pick out her feet. And this isn't for any particular reason, it's just a simple habit. Today I plan to do hoe work, so I decided to ride in her jumping saddle. The saddle pad that I use is a really special gift that my brother got for me for my birthday. He knows I love rose gold and black, and this saddle pad came with a really cute matching fly veil. Once I am done tacking her up, I spray her with a bit of fly spray and begin my ride. Now, one thing I was super disappointed about was once again I had camera problems and wasn't able to catch my whole ride, but Genesis was a super good girl. I rode for about 20 minutes and it was a fun ride. After our ride, I give Genesis a treat for being a champ and then remove her tack and give her a good hosing down. I then spray her with a bit more fly spray and take her back to the field and get ready to go get Blaze. Because Blaze has a bigger head, I grab his extra full-size halter and a handful of treats. After giving the big red pony a quick brushing, I grab my training equipment and take him up to the training corral. Now, I thought I would just walk you through a bit of the day session. Because Blaze is a naturally spooky horse, I have been doing a lot of desensitization with him, and began this session by reviewing some of the things we have worked on previous days. Whenever Blaze does something right, I always give him a treat and tell him good boy because I want him to know that he did the right thing and that he will be rewarded for that. I also give him breaks throughout the session just to walk him around and get his mind moving so he doesn't have all this built up tension. Once I am done reviewing with him, I then move on to teaching him something new. Today, that was desensitizing him to the surcingle. When I am desensitizing him, I always apply pressure and keep on the pressure until he gives the desired behavior. Once he has given the desired behavior, I take the pressure off and reward him. Then, at the end of the session, I do a quick review of what he has learned that day, and I give him a treat and tell him what a good boy he was. Alright guys, so all the horses have been worked with this morning. I went ahead and fed them for this morning. Other things that I do when I do my morning routine that I didn't show on camera was, filling up the horses' water buckets. Always make sure that, or if they're full, I'll just, check them and make sure that they have enough water. And then checking, you might be wondering, well, about the other horses, like as far as hay, we use one of those big round hay bales for our horses, and then we put one of the round hay bale feeders around them so that they'll have hay for a good long while and they can eat, whenever they want to. So they are looking good on their hay. And to say I am pooped would be a huge understatement. I am, my body is literally screaming bloody murder. I am so exhausted right now. I only ate
small pastry this morning. So I am absolutely, my body feels destroyed. So I need to go inside, get some water, get something to eat, and then I'll probably just work on editing some videos and doing some stuff like that for the rest of the day. But that is my morning routine. That is, well, I won't say, that is kind of like an idea of what my morning routine is like. Every day is different. Monday is different from Tuesday is different from Thursday, which today is Thursday. And yeah, I mean, every day is going to be different, but this is just an idea. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video and seeing my morning routine. If you guys want me to do another morning routine where it's like me getting ready for my day or something like that, what I do like when I wake up, comment down below if that's something that you guys want. And if you guys have any more different vlogs that you guys would like to see, comment down below, and I'd love to hear what you guys want, and maybe we'll put some videos out like that in the future. So thanks so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!